Right, good evening everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online. We're here for another round 2 match in this year's VP4 8-ball World Championship. The match tonight is between Semipro and MC Clarkey, an All England affair, and the bad news for them is that the winner is going to be playing Albinario in the next round. So it's going to be a quality player either way that gets to meet Albinario, and let's hope we get a good standard. It's expected, but of course these players again still aren't used to this 10-foot table. We've seen how many players are undercutting pots and struggling to try and read those angles, but as the tournament goes on, you'd expect them to find their feet at some point or other. That video, that stream that we did last night, quick mention on that one, I went and had a look at the early part of it and it sounded terrible. So I'm going to be doing a process of elimination to find out where the problem lies. It sounded to me like feedback from external speakers. It's nothing to do with my mic. The problem with my mic is when I hit the mute button, it makes that crackling noise, but that's not causing this echo effect. That's an external source that's causing that. And the strange thing is it only happened when Rob was in the stream last night, so I don't know what the root cause of it is, but there's an easy way to find out, and that's to mute individual people to see where the cause is coming from. But Steve said that he wanted to join tonight. Rob said he was going to join, so I don't know what's going to happen, but Steve said he wanted to get involved tonight, so he should be along. I'm not in Discord at the moment. Well, I am in Discord, but I'm not in the commentary booth. Steve is there, but his mic's not fired up. But we'll be going in a minute. Quick mention to anybody who doesn't know, there was a little update Steve did, but the update is on the tournament bracket on an NRT tournament. If we go to the tournament page, you don't see anything up here, but if you go down here, what he's added is the scheduled matches, which is handy for anybody who wants to see what's coming up. We can see the one tonight between MC Clarkey and Semipro. Larry and Potman have finally arranged their match, and that is tomorrow night at 7 PM, which is handy. Casino Jim and Disabler, they're on Saturday. We've got Mooncake and Spectre Dawn on Sunday at 7:30, and DJ Simon and LS3 on the one lost side is on the Friday at 7:30. So there's a few good matches lined up, and the one we're looking forward to tonight is about to go. In fact, it may well be, so I'm just going to tab out for a sec.
I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go.
Right, Steve is here. We're all set to go. The room is up. The guys are in. No, they're not up. What's happened here? What time's that? Oh no, it's just gone 7:35. The room should be going up any second. Well, I have to say, I missed most of the match last night when I was streaming the other match, if you know what I mean. DJ Simon was playing Cobra at the same time, and DJ Simon gave Cobra a run for his money. Cobra had to finish off, I think, the second last rack, and then had to run out the last rack to win the match. Simon put up a good fight, pushed him all the way. So the room is up. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to Bedhead, DJ Hazard, Hairpig. Now, give us a sound check, guys. Let us know.
You guys hear me okay?
Here we go. Go for the lag. Now, both of them have got the same cue, curiously enough. So that makes me even more confused.
Yeah, since there's only one of those in the world. And I think my buddy sold it. I think he sold it for $8,500. Pretty nice cue.
Now, one of them's moving, the other one's thinking about it. Oh, there we go. Well, we had a match, I can't remember what match it was, but the two players in the match didn't know how to call safe.
It is a Carmelli cue. It belonged to my buddy Foch Garcia. I believe he finally sold it. That was a one of a kind.
So there's the cardinal sin straight away. That's a scratch and a break again.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Did he side break?
I don't know. I was reading the chat again.
It's hard to scratch side break, but you can do it.
Welcome to Dwight. Good evening to Whit, who's calling it 11-9 to Semi.
Yeah, well, on paper, Semi should win this, but we'll see if he gets it figured out. I mean, he's got the highest gear. He's knows 8-ball the best. It's a question of whether he can get in here and play in a rhythm and play his game.
Now, I mean, these balls are actually, they could sit worse, let's say that. The only worry in the side pocket's the 2-ball, where the 14's been covered by the 2, but I mean, it goes down into the corner, so.
Yeah, the only ball you really need to be careful of is that 4-ball. He may leave that at the end. I think that's a bad idea, but I think at this point that's probably what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's thinking about going up table with the 2 and dropping through for the 4. I think that's what he had a quick look at.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to leave a ball like that where the 4 is, because you get on that funny and now you're in real trouble, because it's not like that 5 is easy to get to. You know, if you roll up and try to get on that 4, you got to get on it real good to get to the 5. I would be going to the 4 pretty quick here.
Yeah, the worry he had with that 2 there is the angle that he had to pot the 2. The cue ball was heading towards the pocket in the side there, so I think and again, I don't think he's sitting that good on it.
Well, he's got an angle where he can cut this in the side and just let the cue ball run, and as long as he controls the speed, you know, hopefully he gets a shot on the 4. If not, he's got the 7.
Yeah, he's got a path just straight down and into the heart of the table.
Yeah, the thing about rolling the ball like this is it's almost like you're doing a lag. I mean, there's going to be almost no speed taken off by the object ball.
No, he's gone up table.
Yep.
Well, as you said, he's left it and he's left it and he's still left it, and now he's got work to do here.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting rid of the 5 problem, but I mean, the 4 is the big issue now. It looks like he got on it. That looks like that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those ones though.
Yeah, but the good thing about this ball is all you have to do is make it. You don't have to do anything with the cue ball.
Yeah, you just go straight over to the side rail in the big gap. Yeah, but there you go. Caught out again with the angle.
You know, that angle is a optical illusion. About a 30-degree cut, especially for cutting the ball down the rail. You see players miss that all the time. It's actually kind of an optical illusion, and the typical way to miss it is just like that, is overcutting it.
Yeah, again, I think the perspective on the 10-foot table catches a lot of players out who've not played on it enough, because they've been missing quite a few, I think, and that's what it's all down to.
Well, I mean, ultimately the pockets are smaller on a 10-foot table. You know, given the same shot, like from the side pocket area to the corner, that you're really looking at a smaller pocket because it's a greater distance. If that makes sense. I mean, the pocket's actually not a smaller pocket, but geometrically the margin for error is smaller from the same locations on the table.
Mm. Now is that Mooncake again? That's Mooncake, isn't it? Good evening.
I think he overran that. I think he was playing for the 13, so I think the smart play here is to shoot the 13 in the corner. Back this up a little and shoot the 13 in the corner, which is what he's trying to do, and he overcooked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still okay. He can just bump the 7 ball here. It's another one you just have to make it. Just roll it and let it bump the 7.
Well, he managed to miss the 7, so he's sitting pretty. But of course, with the table as it was, which wasn't really difficult, it's a bit of a fail for Matt to start off with, doing the hard work for most part, and then the usual thing happens, you miss that critical shot and it gets stolen. You just dipped your pocket there, Semipro, Matt.
Yeah. Well, Semi still had to run the rack out, but, you know, player at his level, it's not too tough if it's open. I mean, it sucks you do all the work and then you dog it, but it's worse than 9 ball. 9 ball, you know, the guy has to make 1 or 2 balls. At least Semi had to make a bunch of them.
Good evening, Jose. Now, that was well, that was actually Semi's break in the first rack anyway, so he won the rack on his own break in the end. Well, there's a handy thing with having the 5 ball up the table, because the 7 can be shot down the rail easily enough if you can get there.
Oh, that's too bad. He got hooked on that one. He's going to come back to those. You want to get rid of that 13 and 10 as soon as you can. Those are sitting in funny spots.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
See, so again, these cuts, there's been an awful lot of them missed.
Yeah, well, you know, you start overcutting a couple, then you start guessing, saying, well, I need to hit this a little thicker, and you know, that guessing game is never good.
Good evening, Popman. Good evening to Stwain. Must be quiet over on the other side, on the dark side, if he's in watching this tonight. Oh, by the way, guys, good news. Just while I remember, I've now got 500 subscribers on YouTube for probably 24 hours till somebody bails out again. Well, Matt wants to repay the compliment here. Again, you're making a little bit of a statement. You know, he wants to be administering the punishment if he can. And of course, if he can just, well, I suppose he's going to take the 4 next and just drop through and take the 3. I mean, I think that would be one objective he wants to take care of. What's the line like there? Well, he might actually. You just got to watch the pace. I think he's pretty straight on this.
Yeah, he can roll this. You know, he'll have either the 3 or the 2. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't tell me.
pretty hard.
Don't tell me he's done it. He's done it.
Yes. Yeah, he hit that way too hard. He had actually quite a bit of room there to roll out.
Well, I mean, I suppose the shot would be just to try and lie on the 6, just past the 6, and leave it blocking behind the 2 to cover the ball up the table. Well, he's gone all out for
Yep.
the cut. That might have not been a wise move. I think if he had just finished where I'm looking right there, he had blocked these balls here. The only one he could see was that one and this one here, and he couldn't cut that. He would have had to have been taken on the bank. And
Yeah,
that
I agree with you. That was 100% the right shot. It was just rolling up on that 6 ball. It was simple.
yeah, I mean, this is why, but that's the problem, Steve. The problem with these guys is, um, you know, they played the game for years and they have this single mindset. If I'm getting a chance, I'm going for the out, but they don't know when to wind it in. And that's my biggest criticism of them. They just don't, take a breath, lock the guy up or leave him nothing, and, force him into taking some sort of daft risk if he wants to. And Matt's chance could have gone here, although this is a little testy one again. Played it well. And he's going to be getting a proper slap in the face here for that effort. Should have been all square.
Semi plays on the inside of the cue ball really well, which is a big advantage if you can do that.
Now the interesting sorry Steve, the interesting thing I was mentioning is that the last time that Stubb was in YouTube, and what's his name, that other half-wit guy, I booted the 2 of them, so I don't know whether they're booted permanently or whether they can get back in. I'd be interested to see if they ever show up again.
Well, it's another scratch on the break. That's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, Spectre Don's the expert at that. Just ask him. He'll tell you how to scratch the break.
Well, I mean, that's one. You got to figure out how not to scratch on the break. That's just a devastating. Earl Strickland called that the biggest momentum killer in pool, and I agree with him. It's just a killer.
Oh, that's his name, Snakes. Yeah, him.
Oh yeah, the drunk guy.
Yeah, well, him and Stubb came in, and then the 2 of them started. So I went into YouTube and booted the 2 of them out, and they haven't been back since. Which is, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's just I want to know if that's a proper permanent thing from the stream. So I've just got them marked as hidden, and that way they can type all they want, but you can't see their chat, which is quite good. Oh, don't tell me. I do not believe he wanted to play there, Steve. I think he was trying to drop through, and he's blocked off again.
But, again, I mean, you don't want to leave these balls in the center of the table extended from the side pocket if you can help it.
Oh, dear.
Those balls turn into problem balls.
Oh.
And I think he's going to have to play this off the rail. It's not a difficult shot. I mean, if you're used to hitting it anyways. If you're not used to hitting it, then anything could happen. But that distance off the rail that ball is just about perfect. It's probably about maybe 1/3 of an inch. I mean, 1/8 to 1/4 is perfect. That one's a little further out, but still pretty easy. The big problem is where is he going to shoot the 8 ball, because the cue ball is going to come fairly sideways off of that, maybe roll towards the 2. He hit it on the underside, I think.
I mean, been really critical of him. He'd only had those 2 balls, and to get on that one in the side rail, and he's pretty much blown it again.
A lot of it's just pattern play. I mean, Yeah, he overran that 13, which is, that could happen to anybody. But, if you make better choices on the pattern, it gives you more room for error and less touchy shots. You just don't want to leave those balls extended from the side pocket till the end because they will cause you problems. I mean, they're pretty easy balls early on, but at the end they're not so easy.
I don't think there's any problem with these. They all go. Well,
Yeah, this is simple.
Matt's looking at the scoreboard and thinking this is where he should be right now.
Well, Semi definitely has not played very well, but when he's getting situations like this, well, what is that? Wow.
He's way short again.
Situations like this, he's taking care of business. That was terrible there.
Good evening, Mark. Now, are you getting any echo tonight, Mark? He's dragged the pace off it there.
Yeah, that was well hit.
Little killer. Good evening
he's
to
got
Chico.
All the shots. Hey, Chico.
I've got all the shots as well, Steve. I just can't get the right ones when required.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw Semipro as a huge favorite coming into this, but he's up 3-0 not because he's played great, but because Matt's been giving him games.
Yeah, you'll hear this crackle, Mark. I'm just about to do it now. But that doesn't cause the echo. That's caused by an external source, whoever that might be. But we'll find out eventually. Now, what are we? Rack number 4, Matt's break again. He's got a ball. And, well, let's look at this corner pocket here for a start. I think 2 balls fine.
Take the solids.
2 balls fine.
Yeah, I mean, that 12 ball was not going in. I mean, he had to take the solids there.
Now, at the risk of repeating ourselves here again, you can't leave that 2 ball to the last ball to get to the 8.
Yeah, that's unwise.
I mean, if you can see that now, he's got to just draw right up the table, and he's bound to be on one of those balls up there. But he's got one. He's got one to play with. No, he can't see it. You're right enough. And the way he's going here, he's doing his best not to see the 2 right now.
Yeah, well, this is a little tricky here. Luckily, the 5 ball is pretty close to the pocket. It's going to hit the 12 and come back. I mean, he needs to draw this because it's going to hit the 12 no matter what he does, I think.
Yeah, Chico, I looked at the video from last night and I could hear myself muting the mic, but it didn't affect any of the audio. The audio sounded not very good, let's just say that. So I'll work out what's causing it. It actually sounds like somebody's running speakers in the background as well as the headset. Hairpig said he isn't.
I'm not hearing a double echo.
No, but there was last night. But the thing is, I mean, I'm tending to think the problem was at Rob's end because there was no problem with me and Hairpig when we were commentating the other night previously, and I don't think there's any issues between me and Steve. So there's something in the setup that Rob's got that's causing it. That's what I think, but it can't be done until he comes on to Discord and I mute him when the stream's on, and then we can find out. Anyway, more important things that matter.
Broke and didn't scratch.
Yep. And he's got a ball.
Yep, that's going to spot up. And
Matt's on the board at last.
Yeah, Matt Matt played a nice rack. He left the 2-ball too late, but he got away with it.
Good evening, Slim. Well, the obvious issues right in front of Semi at the moment, whatever he does.
Yeah, well, you can go with either one. Typically here, the solids would be a little better because that 3-ball's sitting in a real good place where it's real easy to break it out.
Exactly.
But, I mean, that's what I would typically do because of where that 3-ball's sitting. He's going to have to go up table here. Play the 4-ball and get that out of the way because that could be a problem ball. And then, then it's a question whether you leave one up there and come down or take them both and come down. But
I'm looking at the way I mean, that 4-ball's line in a slightly hindering position with the 10-ball.
Yeah, he's going to shoot the 3-ball now, which doesn't do him any good. Well, he's probably going to have to shoot the 1 after this. I mean, I'm not sure it did him any good in the position he's in because that 4-ball is not in a good spot. Yeah, he tried to draw it back so he could shoot the 2, and now he's screwed.
Yep, he's got no shot in the 2 or the 1, I don't think.
Yeah, see, the problem with hitting it that hard is you're not exactly sure where it's going to go. If you've got a ball sitting right in front of the pocket, it's not so bad. But when you got balls that are, potentially not going to be so easy to get on, I would have rather shot that easy and left a thinner cut on the 1-ball because he could have just shot it and stopped it right there and taken the thin cut on the 1, and it was a sure shot. I mean, it's a gamble when you hit them that hard and you're not quite sure where the balls are going.
Well, that was a good shot. The fact that he's backed up and got a safety net knocking the 4 onto the 13 at the moment. Matt's going to have to work for it. He's going to do anything with this visit.
Well, Bed's head's asking for spot dots. Actually, I just put spots on the table, little white crosses for Cowboy. People have been asking for that for a long time. I don't know if I've released that version yet or not. I think I did.
No, you didn't.
But if they're not on there now, there's now crosses on the Cowboy table.
Aye, but is there white lines?
Little white crosses.
No. White lines, Steve, in the kitchen. Just like they have in
Which game are you talking about?
Cowboy.
No, they're not lines. They're little crosses where the ball's spot.
No, you're evading the question, Steve. You know what I'm talking about. See that kitchen line, that black thing that runs across the end of the table? I want it to be white. Yeah. I want it to be white. Yes.
Because that's how they do it in the UK. That's why you want it white.
No, that's how they do it in the UK. That's how they do it in the other place we won't mention. They've got white lines, and we.
Yeah, but the thing is here is I wrote this thing based on what we do here, and here they do black lines.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You're a global game, Steve. You've got to sell it to the punters that most of your revenue comes in from, and most of them are outside the States, I have to say, and have been.
Boy. Are we splitting hairs here about what color the head spring is?
Yep. Well, that was Bedhead's fault because he's got me started again. I.e., it's better for the visually impaired like me. That's one reason to have white lines, because you can't see the dart lines from the end of the table, especially in a 10-footer, and you're playing Cowboy.
Yeah, actually, most tables here, they don't even mark anymore. I mean, rarely will you see a table with a mark. The only thing that's marked is the
cigarette burns,
the foot spot where you rack, so that people know where to put the head ball. That's it. They don't mark anything else. I mean, there's not really any reason to mark it, especially in virtual pool. I mean, the spots, that's another story in games where you're spotting balls because you need to know where the ball's going to go.
Now, how did that 4 ball end up coming out of the 13? Because I was too busy ranting and raving there and I missed it. But anyway.
I don't know. I was responding to your rant and rave, so I didn't see it either.
But anyway, Matt is in business here to get right onto Semi's tail.
He can just hit a stun shot here. All he wants to do is stop it. Let it move out just slightly from the rail. That's perfect. Because now he can just roll it. And if he's not comfortable rolling, he can go to the end rail. You want to leave yourself a little bit of angle on this if you can. Yeah, that's the way to hit it.
Well, I think you can just pinch a tiny bit of this and just drop through, or can you just roll straight through without risking scratching?
Yeah, he can just roll forward. He's perfect.
That'll do.
That's really what you want to do if you can, is roll balls. I mean, playing off a stun is great if you can do that. Drawing the ball is not so great.
Ah, so that's been stolen against the break. So rack number 6, Matt breaking, gets a ball, couple of balls, another ball's about to go. 14's gone as well, I think. Stripe over the left centre, or in fact might not be necessarily over, it might be sitting right in the point. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, they're both good here. I'd probably take the solids. I mean, but we'll see what he does. I mean, you need to get to the 1 ball, but there's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah, I think no matter what set he chooses, he's still got, one of his balls lying down the bottom end of the table here anyway as well. So, but there's no obstruction, so it's just about plotting your way again. The most obvious thing in the game is just finding your way through the traffic and getting to the spot to play the next ball.
Yeah, I would have gone to the 1 ball off that 6, but he's still, he's fine. I mean, the problem with doing this is that, now it's a little tricky getting on the 3 from the. I'd almost rather shoot the 3 next. Okay, that's what he's going to do at this point, because going from the 1 to 3 was a little tricky.
Well, that would be.
He's just going to leave himself a long shot here, I think. I mean, that's what you want to do. You just want to make sure you don't want to do anything crazy here. You want to make sure you get a shot on that 1 ball.
Well, I'll tell you where.
You don't have to do much.
I'll tell you where this will go wrong. What sort of angle he's going to leave himself here on this one, because he's going to have to come off it, and this is a cutback, this 8 ball, so he can't really leave it short. He's just got to.
He doesn't need to come back very far. I mean, all he needs to do is come back to the diamond above, just like that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, see, that's the right way to play that. Don't try to get perfect on it, because you try to get perfect on it. Next thing you know, you run into 11 and you stick the cue ball on the 10. You played it the right way. Leave yourself a little cut there. You're not going to miss that shot.
Now we've got a match on again. Just add an option in the settings so we can choose whichever colour we want. Yeah, that's a good idea, Bedhead.
He's breaking from a funny spot. He's side breaking, but he's side breaking from almost a diamond out from the rail, which is kind of a weird spot to break from. I'm not sure why he's doing that, but maybe he figured something out that's working for him.
So Semi's break dry. Yeah, there's a bit of a. Well, there's not really. I mean, if you take the right ball, if you get rid of this 11, that opens up the 10 more into that pocket if you're going to take the stripes. considering that there's 3 solids sort of clustered in and around one another. But the other issue is the 14 ball in the side rail. So
yeah, either way, there's going to be some issues. I like the stripes a little better, but
see, he's looking at this one, and I don't know whether he's trying to just nudge into the 3 as well while he's at it.
Either one works.
Yeah. Now,
it's just that, there's no pocket for the 7 other than the side, and that's going to be a little tricky. I mean, he's got the 2 ball here. Let's see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be okay here. If he could run into the 15, which he could, he's going to have to spin it a lot. But if he can just bump the 15, he can maybe shoot the 7 next. Although that's not going to be the easiest shot.
Yeah, he's going the other way. Put a bit of bottom right on there. Now he's going to try and sneak across.
He's got to figure out how to get on the 7 ball, because that's the one that's going to be the key ball. Because right now it only goes in 2 pockets, the 2 side pockets. Well, yeah. I take it back. It goes in the corner down there by the 5 too. Yep, that's good. Good play there.
That works as well, yep. Now, if he's going to take the 5 up the table...
3 after this, or he should be playing for the 3.
Well, let's see. No, he's
playing this rack very well.
See, the worry I've got, if he takes the 3, he could end up...
Just touch a left English, make sure you get it past that 13 and bounce off the other rail back into the center of the table.
This is the one that worries me because of those balls on the left side. He's got to get clear, and that's...
He didn't put the left English.
That's why I thought it'd been better taking the one up top
first. That was
first.
A mistake. Yeah, he absolutely had to put a little left English on that ball to get it to miss the... Oh, I thought it was the 13. It was the 12 ball.
Well, Matt's demonstrations so far have been how to lose shape at the critical time, and as a result end up losing the rack because of it.
That's a smart play.
That's the blocker. Of course.
But he didn't get it on the 14, so it's not going to do him any good.
Trying to lock it up.
You need to get that real close.
Again, very handy having all these balls very adjacent to where the 8 ball is.
You have to update. Well, I don't play VP as good as you guys do, but as far as looking at the shot, I'm looking at it like I shoot it on a real table, and on a real table, you definitely would have had to put a little left English on that to get the ball to come back and miss that 11 or 12 ball. Well, Semi should have a huge advantage, not just the 147s. I mean, Semi, he plays good patterns. He knows how to play 8 ball. He played a lot of real life pub 8 ball, and this should be a very one-sided match. The fact that it's not has a lot to do with a couple mistakes and a bunch of scratching on the break. But you got to give Matt credit. I mean, he's gotten out when he's gotten some chances here lately, so, I mean, it's not like Semi's just giving it to him.
Well, they should be settled enough now.
But honestly, if they both play good, I don't see how Matt can win. If Semi's going to have to almost If Matt played great and Semi played mediocre, I think it's a pretty close match. Um, Otherwise, I just don't see how Semi loses. Of course, I've said that before about him and some of these other world championships, and he's figured out how to lose.
Yeah, most of that's beating himself up in the middle of the match.
If he breaks better, he'll win. Well, that may be so. I mean, if he breaks better and he plays well, he's gonna have to play. I think because Semi looks like he's not. Semi looks like he's not gonna just lay over today like he has in the past. Well, this is an interesting situation here. I mean, I like the solids because of where the 7 is in relation to that 11 and 13. I'm not sure what the heck he was doing there.
Well, that's what I was just about to
Trying to
say,
break
you know.
that. It wasn't a very good attempt at it. But I would have shot the 2 ball there because you wanted that 7 ball because that was in a perfect spot to break those balls out from a little different angle. Well, let's see what. Hi, Tommy Pressure. Let's see what Semi does here because this is kind of tricky here where that 11, 13 is sitting. Now the good news is it's lined up dead. So if he can get any ball that he can run into that 4 ball,
yeah,
with just a little angle, he can make that 13. The problem is you got a lot of balls blocking that. So it's
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 unlikely.
sitting pretty good to make that 13 ball, but he needs to be able to run a ball into it. I mean, he could kick the 15 at it maybe, or he could kick this 10 ball at it. But it's kind of a tricky shot to do this. I mean, you got to hit this good because the going 2 rails into that 4 ball, the angle is not really very big there. You got to be pretty precise. Looks like that's what he's going to try. I think this is a good shot, but you got to hit it good. I think he's going to do it with the 14 ball.
Yeah, he's called the 13.
I like this play.
That'll do it. Now has he still got a shot?
Really well. I think he hit that 1 rail. That's fine. That's a good shot. And that's something a lot of people don't look for. They don't look to see that ball is dead. Recognizing that is really important. Same thing with balls in the rack, recognizing whether something's dead or something can be tweaked to be dead.
Probably the biggest failing.
And that's just showing Semi's experience that he's looking for those things.
Yeah, biggest failing of most players is not getting a good look at things just to see if something. And this is where snooker players will do that. If you've been in the snooker game and you're forever looking at the pack of reds, especially when there's a safety duel going on, you're always looking to see that you're not going to say anything.
That off the stun because he played so much pub pool and snooker. I mean, that's the way those guys play. They play a lot of shots off a stun.
Now, how's the line here? Looks pretty good to me. Yeah, not a problem.
But he's also learned to roll the ball too. I mean, he rolls the ball when he's playing snooker a lot more than most snooker players do in real life.
Well, he's going dead straight. Little controlled. Oh, he's just going to roll through, leave it long.
I say that's smart. Don't try to do anything fancy. Just get yourself a shot on it.
So daylight.
Right, well, it's a 2-shot lead, and he's breaking. And I just don't get why he's not going further over. There he goes. That's more like it. If you're going to break from the side, you don't want to be any further than that from the side rail.
Still dry though.
It's a dry one.
Where's the 8 ball? Let's go on to the opposite end of the table.
Well, I'm not sure what happened to Hugh.
I'm here. Can you not hear me, Steve?
Hugh, you still there?
Yep.
Talking over the top of you. I think I accidentally rested my arm. I've got a volume control on this headset on the cord. I think I rested my arm on it and shut you off. I've probably been talking right over you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my mic's everything's functioning my end. I just thought you were ignoring me.
Well, that might be a good idea. I was not doing that.
So you can hear me now, guys.
I thought you went to the bathroom or something like that, or getting a curry, or who knows what.
No, I don't know. Maybe that's just Discord playing up again.
No, it was my fault. I've got this stupid volume control on the headset on the wire. You know, it's like a little thing on the wire, and I think I rested my arm on it.
Well, I've got a volume control in mine, but it doesn't. Well, that's true. I probably, if I turn it down, I probably won't hear you as well. Yeah, you've got a point. But then again, that wouldn't stop those guys hearing me. That would only stop you hearing me.
Exactly. Yeah, so they were hearing you, and they were probably hearing me talk on top of you. Well, I didn't see what happened with. Well, I guess Matt's still on this run. Semi broke dry, so.
Now, this is a big shot coming up. Not the 4 ball. Trying to get to this 8.
Well, this is not good. He would have been better off shooting that 4 ball last, because he could have just slid across the table for the 8. Now he's going to have to do something.
Oh, wait. The 8 goes.
This is tricky.
And he's not got enough angle here.
Well, he could go forward with a lot of right spin. He's going to have to hit it real good.
Oh, he needs a lot more juice than that. He needs to get there.
Well, at least he's got a shot.
I suppose the 13's a good guide for cutting this.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of shot guys tend to overcut, but you know, we'll see. I mean, at least he's got a shot. When the cue ball's coming in with reverse English like that, it's going to kill.
Oh, that's well played. That's
hit it good.
Dead weight.
Yep. All right. Well, he took advantage of that dry break.
Yeah, gets him. Gets him in touch.
This thing about this dry break, you know, if you're breaking dry and you decide, you know, I want to make the table hard to run out, the thing to do is that side break and hit a lot easier, because you're going to leave clusters. I mean, even on a 10-footer, you'll leave some clusters, but whamming them, you know, typically the side break leaves more clusters, but especially on this 10-footer, if you wham it, it's probably going to spread them out, or if you don't make a ball, the guy's going to have fairly easy pickings.
Well, just in response to Bedhead and Hairpig, when you have, I mean, this is the way I see it. When you have a ball that's partially obstructing the ball that you're trying to cut, like that shot that Matt had, when I say it's a good guide, what I mean by that is the fact that you've got a very, you know, you've got a restricted area of the object ball you have to hit. And obviously, if you get it wrong, you're going to hit the blocking ball first. So when I say as a guide, it keeps you disciplined in line to make that cut angle even more. I think at least that's how I feel when you're looking at a shot like that. I'm not worried about
I'm going to have to agree with those guys that it's not an advantage, but you know, I think a lot of it just depends on how you aim.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm going to give you guys a tip that I use a lot in real life. And this isn't just for the ball blocking another ball, but it's for the cue ball when it's on the rail too. You know, a lot of people don't aim balls well when the cue ball's on the rail. And what I do in real life is if I have a cue ball on the rail, I look at the cue ball and I imagine I can see the whole ball like I can see through the rail.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that same thing when you have a ball in front of another ball and you look at it. Imagine you're seeing the whole ball like that other ball is your X-ray vision through it. And that'll help aim a lot, because if you only look at that little slice of the ball, that can really screw you up. So hopefully that helps somebody that's listening. You don't need it, since obviously you think that that's a great situation, having that ball in front.
I don't think it's a great situation. Obviously, you want an open ball, but I think you know that you're limited in where you're hitting the object ball. If you go down and look at that
Sure.
potting angle, and then you have that sort of ghost ball image in your mind. I'm not talking about looking through the ball like you're talking about. That's the way I would play it, and I've always done that.
The reason why I say that, it depends on how you aim, is like I aim full balls. So in other words, when I look at a ball to aim, I look at the whole ball. I see the whole ball like a whole 3D ball. A lot of people pick a contact point on the ball. So if you're picking a contact point on the ball, that shot's really easy because you can see the contact point. But if you're looking at the whole ball like I do, that's a really tough shot unless you can kind of try to trick yourself into seeing the whole thing. So I'm guessing you look at contact points when you shoot.
Contact point, yep. And I visualize the line it's taken, because again, if you hit a ball at a certain point, then with the laws of physics, that object ball is going to go off in a tangent line to that angle that you're hitting at. Same if you hit a ball to a rail at an angle, it's going to come off at the same angle unless you're going to start doing funny things. But anyway, whatever suits you.
Well, I think Clarkie's going to be out here too. I mean, getting on the 8 is a little tricky, but it's really all he has to do is slide across from the 9. I mean, so now we saw him have this shot before and not hit it right because he didn't pull the ball back. To me, the only tricky thing about the 9 to the 8 is the ball speed. You got to get the speed right. The angle should not be that tough to get because you're just going to roll this with right English. He's kind of straight on. I would have rather had angle on that, like come down to the center of the table.
Now, I'll tell you.
He may even go forward with this at this point. I mean, this is not the angle you want.
Well, he's
going to shoot it in the side, which it's not a big pocket, but he's got the corner. I take it back. Didn't realize he had the corner. That's not bad at all.
Well, he's going to take it in the side.
Why is he shooting in the side when he's got the corner? Man, I don't get that, but to me, that corner pocket was a lot bigger because you can hit the rail and it's still going in.
Well, it could be that Matt doesn't, trust himself at that angle, at that distance on this table, and he felt more comfortable getting into a very tight middle pocket.
Well, that was the optical delusion angle right there. That was the one he missed earlier at that angle. Well, I mean, this is actually a pretty well played match here. I mean, they're both playing pretty good. So, I mean, anything could happen at this point. Matt keeps running out, and I mean, he's breaking and running, and Semi's breaking dry, and that's just not going to work.
Now, if that had run another 3 or 4 inches, he could have taken care of that 14 ball.
Yeah, that 14 ball is...
he's just, 2 inches short. He could have got there.
Well, he can go 11, 9, 14 if he gets right on the 9. And if he doesn't, he can come out and try to go 12, 14. I mean, he's probably going to... Yeah, it looks like he doesn't really have the right angle here.
I think he's maybe got just too much, but he might try like a little two-way shot. If he just does a little sort of stunny draw, he might still see
Yeah,
the 14.
he's
He's overhit it.
that was going to be tough. That shot was real touchy.
Yeah. I think the angle was just a bit too much to work with there.
Well, he can just roll this one. I mean, he's not going to play it. I think he can roll this 12. It's going to hit the 2. I think it's going to hit on the right side of it, and he's got to be careful he doesn't hook himself on the 2. This is a real touchy shot too. He's trying to figure out what to do here.
He's drawn back to this 10 ball in the other rail, the top rail.
I would probably play the 12 with a little more speed and run it into the 7, because if you run into the 7 with any kind of speed, the cue ball is going to roll out and you'll have a shot on the 14. He's going to try the soft one.
Well, he's missed the 2.
Didn't hit the 2 at all. Yeah, I thought it would graze the right side of it, but it did not get it at all.
Well, that 5 ball is just a bit of a concern, and so's scratching in the middle. Goodness me.
Wow. Well, he didn't want to overhit it and hit the 2 ball, and instead he ended up underhitting it.
Yeah, I was just worried about the 5.
That's an easy mistake to make. I mean, even though that situation looked simple, it was real easy to hit that ball the wrong way. Either hit the 2 or do what he did.
Right, I've ran out of water. I'm going to have to go and get more water. Back in a sec.
All right, that was smart. He should go 7, 7, 1, 6. He'd get rid of those balls that are sitting out there from the side pocket. And I think that's what he's going to do. He can just stun this and then shoot the 6, or I guess he can roll at the ankle. He's a little on the other side. Wow, why is he not shooting a 1 ball? I see. Yeah, he's looking at stop, stop, stop. And this is actually a real good way to play it the way he plays it. And this is from, playing snooker a lot, playing good patterns. He's looking at stop, 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 which is snooker, you do that, straight pull, you do that. You're looking for a triangle, and that was a triangle there where he was able to go stop, 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 and that's always a good pattern.
Well,
Mark's asking on the break. Well, you know what? It really depends on how the table's breaking. If the table is breaking good, breaking from the center is the best way to break and run out. But if you're going to break from the center, you got to control the cue ball, because it's a lot easier to scratch on the side pockets. So if the table's breaking well and you can control that cue ball, the center's a better break. But if the table's not breaking well, I like the side break better, and the reason why is that it's going to tend to push more balls to the side rails and make more clusters.
Now I'm thinking,
or if you're having trouble scratching.
I'm thinking about what's happened earlier in the match here, and I'm trying to count. That's at least 3 racks that Matt's been at the table with a run out on, and he's failed on those 3 occasions, and the score's 7-5.
You're right, but Semi's offsetting that by breaking shitty. Matt's ball speed here has been really good. I mean, that's, I think, one of the strengths of his game. I mean, he's rolling balls at beautiful speeds. I mean, that's a great way to play 8-ball. If you can roll the ball like that and roll it at the right speeds, I mean, that's just a wonderful way to play, because you're not doing anything fancy. It's hard to get in a lot of trouble when you're hitting the ball like that.
There's a good reason, Steve, for Matt's, he's settled with his touch. He's just struggled with the run out, but he's put in a lot of practice in the last 2 or 3 hours before this game. Semi's been in playing snooker.
He's a UK guy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because UK guys usually don't see this as much because this is more of an American pool kind of style. Guys that played a lot of straight pool and stuff, rolling balls, straight pool and 8-ball, because ultimately this is the best way to play because it's more reliable. Of
Ooh.
course, you still got to make the ball. So, yeah, I mean, that's not as much what you expect from guys from the UK, that kind of style. But, I mean, I like it. I mean, he's really plays a beautiful 8-ball style.
I think Semi's going to look at trying to get straight on in this 11 and just drop it in after the 1, because the 1's there as a blocker, but it's not maybe going to stop Semi taking this out if he can get. It's not the 11, is that? That's the 13. I
It's
keep
a
getting
13.
mixed up.
Yeah.
If he can,
Well, I mean, if Matt didn't have that 6-ball there's a lot more he could do with making the 1 with the 13. But with that 6-ball there, it's kind of hard to hide the cue ball. So I think he's going to need to figure out something here. That 13 only goes in a couple pockets. It goes in 3. The 2 corners down table and the 1 side. But where the 15 sit. Oh boy, I would not have done that. See, I would have tried to get on the 15 there in a way that
well,
he could do something,
that,
either play safe or.
this is him going to do it. 13 onto the 1, and hopefully it drops in.
Yeah, I don't like this. He's got to hit this. He's got to hit this good, or it's not going to go in.
And you think he's going to keep the cue ball in play, because if he's going to sacrifice control to Matt, where he'll have a cut in the 7.
So I didn't like that, because that was a tricky shot to get that 13 to follow it in the way that 1 was sitting. It was far enough out and it was off to the side of the pocket that was not going to be easy. I mean, I liked the idea, but I just didn't like it in that situation. I mean, what he ideally wanted to be able to do was make that 13 ball into the 1 and put the cue ball like behind the 14, so the 14 and 15 block the 6 and 7.
Well, this is going 3 rails, this cue ball, I think. No, he's trying to just drag it in. That's well played. I thought he would let it run.
Now, based on what he did before, he shoot this on the side. I think this is a corner pocket shot all the way.
It's got to be.
He's looking corner.
Good evening to Cobra.
Hi, Cobra.
Is it going to get there?
He picked the right one that time.
And he's got the break now.
Yep.
Ball in a shot.
Yeah, looks dry.
Yeah, nothing doing.
All right, well, this table's sitting really well. I'm sure he's going to take the stripes here.
Now again, the other pretty good thing is if he takes the stripes, his last stripes near the 8-ball anyway in the side rail there.
Yeah.
I mean, he could take the 9 as his last ball as well. So he's got good options.
This is a good shot because he got on the 12 right away, and that was the only ball that was a real problem. Why didn't he shoot it there? I'm not quite sure why he shot that at that point. I would have shot the 12 because the 14 was a blocker if he got in trouble, and he had a shot on the 12. That one was a little bit of a mystery to me. The 9-ball is the only ball that could potentially screw him up. He should be shooting a 9-ball. Well, that was interesting. He's still okay. I don't like leaving this 9-ball for last, and I think that's what he's going to end up doing. See, now he's realizing that 9 ball is maybe going to be a little touchy if he gets on it wrong, but he's going to have to leave it for last now. Well, that was risky. And now he's funny on this. He's making a mess of a simple situation here.
He's fairly straight. See, now he's going to come behind the 3 and towards the 6 for this 8 ball.
Yeah, he's just probably going to roll this. He could go back and forth, but I think he'll just roll this. Yep. In real life, a lot of guys will go back and forth on that just so they didn't hit it so easy. All right. Well, he got away with it. He didn't play the greatest pattern there, but he got away with it.
And again, against the break and a ball.
Well, cue ball was pretty good there. Got kicked, but you know, he controlled the cue ball pretty good. He didn't break from the dead middle, but he hit the head ball dead on.
Well, every ball bar 1 is a solid down this bottom half of the table. Below the pink 12 ball, that is. You've got 1 strike down the bottom.
So yeah, I think he chose the right balls because, you know, this is the way these balls are laying. You've got a lot of choices and options, and it's hard to screw this up, really. Yeah. I mean, I could screw this up, but I don't think he will.
I would have been straight up the table there and dealt with those 2 balls straight away. And
you know, balls up table like that aren't bad, and I'll tell you why. Because, like, let's say you leave that 2 ball for last. It's really easy to get on the 8 ball. I mean, you can come down table and get on that 8 ball very easily. A lot of times when balls are close, you know, and you get a funny angle, now all of a sudden it's not so easy. But yeah, I wouldn't have been afraid at all to leave balls up table to last, because they were wide out and open, and it's easy to come down table for the 8 ball. Because he doesn't have anything he can just stop and shoot the 8 ball or some like ball that's perfectly positioned here down around the 8. None of those balls are like that. I mean, the 6 is the closest, and he really should shoot that now and get rid of it. And he's not gonna. I would have shot the 6 right there. Whether or not he was gonna leave the 2 to last, I would have shot the 6 there.
Yeah, now he's got rid of those balls though. You know, all his work's here in and around the 8, so no excuse now.
Yeah, he's just managing to play a really funny pattern. I mean, you really don't want this shot. And even this, I mean, he's probably going to shoot this in the side. That's what I'd be doing, because you can just roll this. Yep.
Is this the first time somebody's been 3 in front? I think it is.
Okay, well, I mean, he didn't play the best pattern there either, but he got out, so.
Oh yeah, he was 3-0 up at the beginning, I forgot, yeah. Well, Matt needs a ball and a shot here, he's got to. Oh, he's just... Well, the one's got kicked in, something else got in as well.
I think you said this before, Hugh, about these guys getting a bunch of choices and not always making the right one, and you're right. You know, it's like having a bunch of choices makes it real easy to not choose the right one.
Well, that 2 ball behind the 13 I don't know. I think the problem is he can't see it. That's the first problem. But
No, you're right. He can't.
it would have. I mean, it's not perfectly lined, but I think if you just look at the gap, you can easily make that combo, no problem. But he's
Yeah,
gonna.
but he did the right thing here. See, he's got two balls there. He's got the 11 and the 15 that are close to it.
Exactly.
So breaking it with 11 is probably not going to happen. The 15 ball is sitting good though. You can go forward and I like going forward and behind it with right English. He's not going to do it from here. He's straight on it. He needed to have angle on that so he could go forward and right English, and you can hit that 13 ball square and kick it right towards that other corner pocket. But he's straight on it, and that's no good. So now he's wondering, what the heck am I going to do? This situation is actually kind of tricky because somebody's got all the balls on the table. I think I wouldn't have made that ball. Well, maybe he can break it from here.
Well, he might have to just punch this little draw. He's missed it. And
Oh boy.
He's going to scratch. No.
Yeah, he needed to hit that with a lot more speed and force it to the rail, or, and maybe not quite as much draw. Now he's really in trouble. I mean, I think his best hope here is to try to put that 12 ball someplace on another ball, because, I think that's what he was trying, but he didn't get there.
Right, so what about...
And he left Semi a break shot right off the bat.
Yeah, I was just going to say that until he played it. I was just going to say, what about going up table, potting the 7, getting behind the 4 and playing the combo, but Matt's just put it in a plate there for Semi with the breakout.
Yeah, that was... Semi locked himself up on this 13 ball. That was hard to do, but he did it. That's one of those, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and it just did for him. I mean, he's got the 6 ball, but you don't want to have to shoot this shot with this table. I mean, that's the kind of crazy stuff that happens in pool. I mean, that thing is a 16th inch further out off the 13, and he's fine. Instead, he's locked up on it, has to shoot a tough shot. I will say Semi's mentally is doing pretty good this match, because in some matches he would have been freaking out about that, and that didn't bother him at all, and that's the way you want to be. He just, shot the 6 in like it was nothing.
Yeah. What does he do? Does he stun across? Does he check it up? It looks like he's running.
I can see why Bedhead was talking Matt up. I mean, Matt's actually got a lot better game than I realized. I mean, he the way he plays pattern play and rolls balls, I mean, that's really strong. I think the only reason he's losing is because he's missed a few balls where, he would have been out.
Yeah, he's 3 racks short at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, he's giving away at least 3 racks.
So, 1 to go for Semi.
But, whoa, Stan, that's the problem with that head ball break I was talking about, Steve-O UK.
Oh, dear.
He almost scratched in that side pocket. You got to make sure you really hit that thing dead on. You don't want to lose it sideways like that.
Look at this ugly mess here.
Well, I mean, that 15 ball will clear all that stuff out. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you can get on that 15 ball, it's pretty good. I would not be taking this. I would not have done that. And the reason why is there's so many balls there, even going into at high speed, it's hard to break those solids out. If you could have got down on that 15, you could have really cranked them and split them and for sure got a shot on the stripes. So, yeah, I would not have wanted to take solids there and done that.
I mean, as long as all those stripes are, well, he's called a 3. He tried a little combo, didn't quite get there, but he's got the next best thing at the moment. Might not be there long though.
Yeah, well, this one is make the 13 ball
and lock him.
Lock him, and you might even call safety. You know, it might have been a better play to call safety there than because you call safety there and then semi's kicking, you might get ball in hand and then you take care of the 11. I probably would have called safety there. You know, especially if you could get him really locked on the ball. I mean, he can't kick at all. I mean that's the thing about the strategy here in 8 ball is you've got to think about those things. It's not always about running out. I mean, that was a real good opportunity there to do a called safety, make the ball, and leave semi kicking. Oh shit! I'm thinking who's got the wrong balls?
Well,
Am I thinking backwards here, Hugh?
I was just letting you carry on, Steve, because I was thinking I was out of sync. I'm looking at Semi trying to roll to his set of balls,
13, yeah.
and he's just missed it. He's missed the hit, so it's ball in hand to Matt.
All right, I think I got confused. I'm not sure what was going on there. I think I'm confused. Oh, he did call a safe. Oh, he played safe, but he didn't call it. Okay, I see what Bedhead's saying. I was expecting him to call it because you try to leave the 13 hung in a pocket, and if it goes in, then you've called it. I guess he actually angled it so it wasn't going to go in. Well, I agree with that, Hair Pig. Ball in hand was a disaster there. Yeah, he's going to shoot the 5, then the 7.
See, this is a setup I love because it looks so easy for these guys, for Matt to run out here. It looks so easy, but it's all going to hinge on how well he finishes on this 7.
Well, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Balls extended from the side pocket are very dangerous. Normally, you'd want to shoot it now. And yeah, he was able to get on the 5. As long as he could get on the 5, that was the right shot. Because that ball, you get on that little funny, and all of a sudden it's tough.
Now, if he's going to draw across, again, he's just got to be careful with this.
Yeah, he just, this is a shot I find difficult in VP4 that in real life I hit this, real well because I'm not going to scratch in that side pocket. I mean, I'm not. I'm going to hit it good. I'm going to bring it down and hit that diamond down from the side pocket. But in VP4, that shot gives me fits.
Well, nobody's telling me he played to play the 8-ball from there.
But no. He didn't. And that comes from being afraid of the scratch there, I mean.
Yeah. If you
got to get this.
You're always worried about just digging in a little bit off that shot and drawing it into that side pocket, and he went the other way. He just chickened out in the shot and didn't go through with the stroke. Got halfway home.
The thing is making decisions and shooting shots by fear is never a good thing. I mean, because it makes it hard to even hit it good. And you end up, he dogged the position there, and it could cost him this game. I think he should try to shoot the 10 ball after this 12-10. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's going to go 12-15 if that goes. Oh boy, he didn't back it up.
He's going to have
to. Boy, that's a mistake. He's going to have to shoot the 10.
Yeah. Tell you something else. If he doesn't get this cue ball in line, he's going to have no shot other than a combo, and he's way off the mark.
Well, but he hit it the right way. He just missed the ball. I mean, he was going to have the shot on the 9 ball. That was the right shot. He just missed it.
Oh, look what's happened here. Semi's got out of jail.
This is not a hard shot if you know how to shoot massés. I mean, this is not a very big massé shot. I mean, I expect him to hit the ball for sure and probably make it.
Well, this is where you've got to not overhit it and just get it. That's perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely perfect. You just got to get that space in it, but not too much, or else the spin doesn't work if you hit it too hard. And he just played it perfect.
Hairpick says it's an extremely hard shot. I don't think that's a hard shot, Hairpick, because he didn't have to curve it that much, so he didn't have to really jack up. I mean, he played it the right way.
I didn't hear anything go. Oh, something did go.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that. And the reason why I don't think that shot's that hard is because the ball wasn't hanging in the pocket. It's actually a lot harder if the ball's right in the pocket, because then it's hard not to follow it in.
Yeah.
Where that ball was, and it was. And I bet you if you ask MC Clarkey to show you that shot over again, he wouldn't have too hard a time doing it. I mean, it's more of a knowledge shot. It's. I don't think it's that hard if you understand how to hit it, and he obviously did. Yeah, I'm impressed with Matt's game. I mean, he's really just missed a few balls that have really cost him, because he's played well. Yeah, and there's another one. And that's the thing about guys. Like, when I'm looking at guys in the pool room and I'm deciding who to gamble with, if I was watching a guy like Matt play 8-ball, and watching him lose to somebody this way, I would not be saying, oh, this is a guy I want to play because he lost. I'd be like, this is a guy I don't want to play because look the way he's playing. And I think Matt's going to be, whether or not he wins this match, I think he's definitely going to be a guy to watch in this competition because he plays the right way. Not sure what he was trying to do there. That was interesting. Bedhead's asking if I'm talking about in VP4 or in real life. I think in both. It's the same sort of shot in both. Where, the way he hit that, where he's putting a lot of English on it, a little elevation, and a little bit on the top of the ball, because on the top of the ball, when you're up on top of the ball and you put English on it with a little bit of butt angle elevation, it's going to make the ball turn a lot harder. And if you understand that and you have a feel for it, you can control it pretty good.
Well,
the mistake people make on that shot is they try to hit it more in the center of the cue ball. They'll put like right English and more like in the center of the ball instead of putting some top on it, and then it's harder to get the ball to turn there. Now, if you want to turn a lot, you have to move down on the cue ball and get it to skid more. But when you only need to turn it a little, being up higher on the ball makes it real easy. Well, what Hairpick's talked about is a swerve it too hard. Well, but that's why you want to hit it on top. It's easier to control. If you are trying to hit it more towards the center of the cue ball, like center right there, then yeah, it becomes very difficult to control how quickly it swerves because the ball's skidding more.
Well, we had a quick look at that 15. It goes past the 8. The problem is the 2 ball was restricting him from trying to run down the table and nudge into that 11. So,
well, he's got a beautiful angle to run into it.
He's got a
beautiful angle. I think he just needs to draw this just a little bit, draw it with a little right English.
Oh, he's overcut it.
Yeah, that's too bad. I would have probably hit that with more speed too, because it was difficult to tell how the 11 was going to go. I mean, he could have bumped that 11 right up on top of the 1.
Well, that's a shot where you don't want to get the second part of it right, which he's done and broke out the ball. But the other thing that's a lifeline is the 2 ball is blocked off by the 15.
Well, I don't think it's going to be after this shot. You're going to want to pull this back and hit the 15. Miss the 2-ball, hit the 15 would be ideal.
Yeah.
That's fine too. He's going to have a shot. I mean, you know, he had the 7-ball or the 1-ball almost for sure on that. So, I mean, it was hard to go wrong on that unless you baby the shot and didn't hit it with enough speed.
Fat lady singing.
Well, I got another guy I'm going to want to watch play, and that's McClarkey, because Matt showed me something in this. He's going to end up losing, but, you know, he showed me something about the way he plays.
Well, you don't you don't want to bump into him in the one loss side, put it that way.
No. I mean, he plays the right way. He's only losing this match because of missed balls. He just missed too many balls, open balls that, you know, he normally would make. Now, I will say that last shot he had, that last cut shot, was a little tricky. That was no gimme. I mean, that wasn't like that one was guaranteed to go in. That cut he just shot this game on the 15, but he's missed plenty of other balls that I'm sure he's gonna remember.
So Semi goes through 11 racks to 7 and goes head to head with Albinario in round number 3. A quick look. I think that's about it, isn't it? Yeah, we've got, and plus we've got the other match that's been arranged. In fact, rather than do that, we'll go back to the thing that Steve has put in to help us. The one that we looked at earlier, we've got Larry and Popman tomorrow night at 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. Casino Gym against Disabler on Saturday at 9 p.m. I won't be there for that one, that's too late. Mooncake and Spectre Dawn on the one loss side. Now that's a good matchup. That's going to be on Sunday night at 7:30, again 2:30 Eastern. And finally we've got DJ Simon in the one loss side with LS3. Again, that's a good matchup. And that is on next Friday, I think that is, at 7:30. So there's 4 matches all lined up and worth watching. And Popman's going to have a chance at Larry tomorrow night. I'll be there for that one. I hope you all can join us. And well, thanks for joining, Steve. All we need is white lines on that 10-foot table on Cowboy, and I'll be happy.
You know, you got to watch out what you say, Hugh. Here in this country, they call that a racist statement.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have white lines, just so that I can see so I can see the kitchen line. That's purely a visual aid I'm looking for. Anyway, that's to look forward to. So thanks for joining, Steve. Thanks to everybody for joining us as well. Take care, and we'll bid you good night. See you again soon.
All right.